Good morning, Rabboisai. It's another week. Lili nishmas eemi morati Drs.Barbara Mordechai, live from Dallas. We're welcoming the guys in Dallas. Yeah, somebody said. Gewaldig. Very important notice before I say who the shir is sponsored by. Maybe did ya? He just left. I don't know. He's not going to come to the front. Come on, get over here. Get over here. So last month, here, be mevayishim berabim shtickle. Why not? The other wants to know what my chavrusa looks like, right? Come here. Wow. First of all, Rabbi said, this is my chavrusa, Rabbi Didia Kramer, my Rebbe, I should say, my Rebbe. So last month, a guy got 100 on the test. Eliyahu. Oh no, is right. Elio Jacobs. The one who found the money for him. That's right, the guy that found the money. The whole story, very good. He's chopping. Got 100. So we decided to give him an extra bonus, 1,000 shekel, the whole thing. And guess what happened? The chavrusa got mad because he only got a 98. He got the 100 this time, and Eliyahu got a 98 though. Not only that, hold on 1 second. Eliyakim got a 98 also, and Rifal got a 95. So it's amazing scores. We're the top kollel in the world for sure. I mean, I didn't ask. Who's there? Shalom. What does that have to do with anything? Just saying. Okay, I'm middle. Thanks for my thought. Let's start from the beginning, Yosef. All right. So, anyways, today's shir is sponsored. This is going to be great. Watch this. By Beverly and Harry Fink, Lili nishmat eemi morati Shineidel bas Aron Hirsch on our mother's 38th yartzeit. Sponsored by Dr. Michelle and Chaim Nordlicht, Lili nishmat eemi morati Shineidel bas Aron Hirsch on our mother's 38th yartzeit. Sponsored by Dr. Cindy and Mr. Aaron Dobrinsky, Lili nishmat eemi morati Shineidel bas Aron Hirsch on our mother's 38th yartzeit. By Dr.Barbara and Alan Listhaus, Lili nishmat eemi morati Shineidel bas Aron Hirsch on our mother's 38th yartzeit. Since you complained about my sponsoring, including my sister's names, I paid to have them sponsor separately. Maybe next time you could charge by the syllable. No, wait. What are the chances you can separate the syllables properly or diagram a sentence? My mother died at the age of 53, 3 years after my father's p'tira, leaving 4 fairly young Yisayimim. She was a survivor of Auschwitz. Let me stop there, lest we take time away from your gaiva. Laughing out loud. On another brief note, my wife, Dr. Barbara Listhaus, wants to know, when are you scheduling parent-teacher conferences? While she's pleased with some of my progress, she needs me to have multiple other areas worked on by you and the chevra. I'm not living up to many of the expectations she has for me. I'm concerned she holds you and me both responsible for lack of progress. I wanted to warn you, as she's no pushover. I apologize again that there's so many doctors in the family. If we had any brains or seichel, we would have gone into real estate. Alan Listhaus. By R Chaim Cassel for my mother-in-law, Alte bas Moshe on her 7th yartzeit. And Shom should have an aliyah. In honor of David Schwartz, wishing you a happy Father's Day. Thank you for being the most wonderful father, zaydie role model. Love always your adoring children and grandchildren. And the Reichs. In honor of David Schwartz. By Simcha. Oh, get over here, David. Get over here. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Today's Father's Day. Hold on. He needs a picture. Okay, good. We have plenty of time. Levi, take.
It's everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Okay, great. Simcha Lichter, Lzecher nishmas, my grandfather, R Chaim Zvi, R Moishe Gershon Zatzal. If you're from Chicago, everybody knows Rabbi Goldsweig. He actually was the one that gave us the hechsher in my catering business for years. Big tzaddik. Known in Chicago as the chief, and there's a book about him, or in the world as the super mashgiach, which he was. Gershon, are you able to play that voice note? I should just say Balpeh. You are? I don't know, go a couple seconds in. Here, Rabbi said, I want. It's hard to understand if there's going to be. I'll translate. It's in Yinglish by Yossi Klein. Listen to what he says. He has one great line there about Basa B'Chalom.
Is not normal. I'm just thinking out, going back years, if I ever had such an experience in my life. I don't know. No, I don't think so. It's so funny, I don't know, I'm thinking. Yesterday there was this guy with the Schwartz laser, I don't know, black and white glasses, but the Hasidish ones, I don't know how you say it, the real, not the fancy one, I'm sure there's fancy one of this glass.
A chassid with the real glasses.
He grabs this guy with the kippah struga and he's dancing, and I'm like, whoa, this is like Busa B'Chulav, like, what is this? It's so funny, like, how can you see this? I don't know.
All right, you can stop it there.
Mamash touched, and everybody's like, well,
He said that a real Hasidish-looking guy, not some Hasidish guy, a real frumman with the real black and white glasses. He doesn't know how to say it. I don't either know. It has a special name. The special glasses, the Satmar glasses, exactly. The ones the Baal Shem Tov wore. They didn't change. And he himself went over and grabbed a Yid with the kippah struga, and he says, I don't understand. This is Busa B'Chulav. That's what he said. But the guy Bedafka grabbed him, and he's talking about the Achtos and how uplifting the whole event was, and it surely was a very uplifting event. All right. By Jay Nathanson. This is a guy that traveled 2.5 hours in each direction, together with Nisan Gans in his own car and his son, together with Avram Meir and Asher Zelik Farkush, who gave him the ride. Hello, Raveli. I would like to reiterate how great of an experience we collectively had at the home of Yossi Klein. It was like a family get-together, except you don't know anyone well enough to get on each other's nerves. It truly was beautiful. It's a family get-together, but you don't get on anybody's nerves because you don't know them well enough. I want to encourage all those out there who are shy. There's a guy in the 5 towns that his son ate by me a number of times who said he watches the shir all the time, but he's too shy to go to the get-togethers in Far Rockaway. The guys that are shy or socially awkward to come to the next live event, he's encouraging them. I fit both the aforementioned descriptions, and it's always been worth it. See, he's learning from the best. You just put yourself down as Gishmak. So please, to the shy guys, chaparite. I know this guy. He's no social awkward nothing. Again, shkoyach to Yossi Klein, the Sound Gans, and all the organizers of the event, and for Avram Meir and Asher Zelik for the ride. Continue brachas and simcha to the MDY team. Jay Nathanson, Yishkoyach Jay. This is from Yossi Shanker in Chicago. Shkoyach. He's talking about the Chizik video. I enjoyed it, but where's the Chicago barbecue? The guys in Chicago need a barbecue. That's the only way we're going to get them together. No, Yossi, he's a fish guy. He's a meat guy. No, say that he has his. You want his cell phone? Here, come take this. Yeshua, call him up. And Ben Lachman says one of the best emails of all time. Baruch Hashem, very holy and uplifting. That was the whole email. 4 words. All right. We go weiter? Okay. We'll do this tomorrow. Oh, but it's very important. Talking about Yossi Klein. This is this week's Mishpacha. You open it up. Page 1. First time. Page 1. We made it. Yossi Klein. This thing of giving out 1,500 Gemaras is a $50,000 undertaking by Yossi Klein. It's amazing. One guy, and they're halfway through, I think, raising money. A guy gave 100. I don't want to say his name yet until I have Rishos. A guy from Far Rockaway. I know his father, a very chashav rav. 100 Gemaras he donated yesterday or 2 days ago. So kids are. Official is in trouble, but the top sponsor so far is 5,000. So he's not that bad. Well, no, there's more. There's a guy that gave a little more. Okay, fine. Zok teheli Gemara. We are holding Daf Ayin. V'goylel Sefer Torah. We're holding one line down on Daf Ayin. V'goylel Sefer Torah. And he says, the Kohen Gadol says, by the way, I am going to read from Parashas Pinchas soon, Baal Peh. Don't worry about it. Everything is good. It's in the Sefer Torah. V'kol kach lama. Why does he have to explain himself? Kedei shelo lahoitzi laz al Sefer Torah. We're concerned. People will say, the reason why he's saying Baal Peh, this Sefer Torah is missing stuff. Who's that? Benji's kid? Ah, you doing, Benji's kid? What's your first name? What's his name? Ari. Benji was very instrumental helping. He's Chaim Kornbluth's brother and Daddy Kornbluth's son, Benji. This is his grandson. He helped a lot all the way to the beginning with the video and everything. He's one of the first people that decided that we should do a shir. Outside right here. Okay, Zok the Gemara. So, from Parashas Pinchas, Balpeh. Amai. Niglo v'nikri. Why don't you just roll up the Sefer Torah and start reading from where you need to read? Now, we discussed it last night. Why yes, why not? So Taisi Shanim explains that that's exactly what the Gemara wants to know. Go into it. Why is it a problem? Rav Huna Bereder Rav Yeshua, Omer Rav Sheshes Lefi, Shein Goylem Sefer Torah B'Tzibur. You don't start rolling up a Sefer Torah when everybody's waiting. Tircha de Tzibura, Mepnei, Kvoy Tzibur. We already went through this. There's a shul that I davened mincha once. No, I davened there many times, but that was the last time I davened there. The whole shul finished, but the chazan kept on going and going and going, and everybody's waiting. And then when he finished, he did a shalom really, really slow and deliberate. And then he turned around and looked around to see if there's a minyan. There's not a single person davening Shemona Esrei, and he goes real slow. He looks. Right. He wanted to make sure they had a minyan that stayed in shul. Anyway, there's a concept of Tircha Tzibura. Whoever doesn't know about it, here it is. Tircha Tzibura. We don't even roll the Sefer Torah. Yom Kippur in the Beis HaMikdash. We don't even roll up the Sefer Torah so that people don't have to wait an extra 2 minutes, whatever it is, to get there. V'naisi achrina v'nikri. Okay, so bring a second Sefer Torah, like a lot of times you do in shul. People might say that the first Sefer Torah is puzzle. So there's a beautiful story. That's the only story today, because we're going into some drasha sugi a little bit. Easy stuff, but drasha. R Moishe Feinstein was at a simcha, and there were 2 bottles of milk in front of him. Let's call one Golden Flow and the other one J&J. He picks up one, and he puts it down. And then he took from the other one. So the company calls him up and says, things are not going well for us. People heard about the story, and they're saying that our milk is no good. He said, what? He's trying to think, and he remembered that he's at the simcha. And he remembered that the bottle was empty, so he put it back down. Had nothing to do with the hechsher. It was pashut empty. You can't put something down. You can't put a Sefer Torah down. People start talking. Mistama. I don't understand it 100% because every Yom Kippur is the same story, and people know this is what they do. No, people are going to say, people are maritzim. Who knows what's going to happen? Talking about that, I think it was the Satmar Rebbe. Satmar Rebbe, after he went to the mikveh, he cut his nails. So it became a minhag in Satmar. Let's call it Satmar. I don't know for sure, but one of the Hasidus, every time after the mikveh, they take out the thing and they start cutting the nails. So one day they asked the Satmar Rebbe, where does the minhag stam from? He says, minhag stam from? My nails are nice and soft, and that's when I cut my nails. No shaykhs to mikveh, not mikveh. So anytime they wanted to cut their nails, they had to go to the mikveh first and then cut their nails. Zok the Gemara, that had no shaykhs to the first one. But anyways, if you take out another Sefer Torah, there's only one kohen here getting all the aliyahs, and he's going to have to make another bracha. There's a bracha she'ena tzricha. Says the Gemara, why are we concerned taking out another Sefer Torah? The famous Shabbos Chanukah. That's also Rosh Chodesh. You'd pull out 3 Sefer Torahs from the Aron Kodesh. You do the regular Parashat Shavua. And the regular Kriya that we do every day of Chanukah. Says the Gemara. So, and we're not concerned that there's going to be a pagam and people are going to say, you took out 3 Sefer Torahs because all 3 or the 2 before that were puzzle. We know this is what we do. Plus a garabah, plus a sifri like a begama. If there's 3 people reading, 3 people get aliyah, so we know, okay, each one has his own Torah for whatever. But one kohen gadol reading for 2 sifri Torah, people are gonna. It looks like a begam, and we want to stay away from it. Again, the concept of visim nekiyim, whatever that idea of other people shouldn't say things about you. They shouldn't talk about you. As we had in the Mishnah, we might have said it quickly. There are 8 brachas that are said on the Torah. Tana Rabbanon ala Torah, kederach shemavarchim beveis hakneses. You say nois and Torah, the bracha following the kriya, like Rashi explains in the Mishnah. I guess you also say asher bach Rabbanon, but that's not what he's talking about. We're talking about afterwards. Al ha'avoida. Al ha'avoida, as we explained in the Mishnah, means ritzei. Now let's think about it for a second. Ritzei Hashem l'kin abam Yisrael v'lasam v'hoshev es ha'avoida l'dvir beisecha. Does that make any sense? V'hoshev HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you should return the avoida to the Beis Hamikdash. You are in the Beis Hamikdash. It's returned. So obviously you don't say that. So you say, Rashi in the Mishnah says, Ritzei ba'amcha Yisrael v'tirtzo ha'avoida. You should accept the avoida b'dvir beisecha. And how does he messiah? Baruch atah Hashem she'oischa levadcha b'yira na'avoid. Oh, I have a story. There was a chashav rav in Europe, and they told him, you have to daven for the Amud. It's the new rav. He says, I don't daven for the Amud on Yom Kippur. That's the minhag. You have to daven pick. At least one tefillah. He thought about it. He says, I'm davening Musaf. Why? Because that's the only time in the year and the only person that ever gets to say, She'oischa levadcha b'yir na'avoid. It's a bracha. I want to be Lzecher to say that bracha. Other people daven Musaf for other reasons. You don't say She'oischa levadcha? Oh, for minhag agra? Ashkenaz does it. Minhag agra in Eretz Yisrael. Okay. As we said over there in the Mishnah, what is it again? You say, what's the lashon? Michal, melech, moicha v'sileach. Okay. Ketikno, like we say. Val amigdosh b'fnei atzmi, special bracha on the Beis Hamikdash. Val koyam b'fnei atzmi, special bracha on the Kohen. Val Yisrael b'fnei atzmon, val shar tefillah, and the rest of the tefillah. What does it mean? Tarabah. Ushar tefillah, how do you say it? Rina, tchina, bakasha. According to Rashi, it seems like these are the words that you say. Rina, tchina, bakasha. According to the Rambam, you could elaborate the rina, the tchina, the bakasha. Milfanech al amcha Yisrael, shetzrichim livosha. So, we're saying a tchina and a bakasha, we're begging HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Klal Yisrael that need help. V'choisem b'shemei atfilah, Baruch atah Hashem, shemei atfilah. Every person goes home, brings, Rashi says, these Torahs are there ready from before Yom Kippur. There's different periods in Klal Yisrael, the Erev, no Erev, Yerushalayim is considered Rosh Hashanah. Talking about in the time where you could not carry, and therefore you bring the Sefer Torah beforehand. Why does everybody bring a Sefer Torah? Says Rashi, there's a special mitzvah. There's a keli vanveyu hisnai lefanu b'mitzvahs. You have to show others the beauty of the mitzvahs, the different, how much money was spent and time to find the right sofer, the right klaf, the right yoy. Till this very day, it's the same exact thing. Mamish, like he's describing, because I'm going through this parsha now. Find the klaf from here. You can buy from here. It's a little bit better. This sofer is better than that sofer. No, that's what it is, and you show off. This is it. Interesting that I saw Rabbi Yashiv, I believe this is what he says, that the mitzvah of Zakelim Vanveyu, although over here it's not so much, is to write it. Once you write the Sefer Torah, you spent the money on the Sefer, you don't really have the mitzvah to read it. That's what he holds, I think. Haraya Kohen Gadol. So it says that the person, if you see the Kohen Gadol reading from the Sefer Torah, you're not going to see the burning of the korbanos. Pshita. How can you be in two places at the same time? What is he coming to say? Perhaps you're not allowed to leave. If you're in the Beis Hamikdash, you're not allowed to leave during Kriyas Torah. It's a big boo-boo. Stam is like during the week. If you're in middle Kriyas Torah to get up is like a whole clause, whatever it is in the Gemara. But if you're at one place, you're at the Beis Hamikdash, you would think that you're not allowed to leave to see another avodah. Why? Because of the idea of Barav Am Hadras Melech. The reason why I kicked my son-in-law out, that never happened. But the reason why people make Kiddush, one person makes Kiddush for everybody, the more people there to show Kavod HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's better, instead of doing it individually. So when a lot of people come to hear the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, reading from the Torah, Barav Am Hadras Melech. So I would think that you're breaking that mitzvah. You can't leave. You're part of the mitzvah, Barav Am. Kamash Malan, you're not doing the mitzvah. You're just a spectator. So Mamela, you're allowed to theoretically go and watch them burn the sire. The only problem is you're not going to make it because it's happening at the same exact time. Says the Mishnah. Now we're continuing. You could go at either one. You can't be at both. That's what the Mishnah says. You can't be at both. The official Mishnah is sponsored in honor of the MDY Chevra. Says the Mishnah, in big day boots koirei. Now, the other Mishnah on Daf Samches Amud Beis, the beginning of the parak, says that the Kohen Gadol has an option. He could wear the big day lavan, the big day Kohen Gadol, or he could wear his own. In the big day boots koirei, if he is wearing the big day lavan of the Kohen Gadol, then what happens? Kiddush Yodav V'Raglav. So we had a little bit of a discussion, a bit of a discussion back in the day. You do 10 Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim and 5 Tfilos. Why are you doing Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim? So the Tanakama holds you're doing Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim to remove the begadim. Right before you remove the begadim, you do Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim with the golden vessel. Remember, there's Yom Kippur. So he's not going straight out of the faucet. He fills it up, and then he does Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim before he removes his clothing. So he's about to remove the white clothing. Kiddush Yadav V'Raglav. Poshat Yorad V'Toval. He removes the clothing, goes into the mikvah, all of in his tapag, dries himself off with a towel. Then they give him the regular begadim that Kohen Gadol wears all year long. V'Kiddush Yadav V'Raglav. Here's the second Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. Remove the clothing. Tefillah, Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. Or put on the clothing, Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. V'yatza v'asa es Eloi v'es El ha'am v'es shivas kvasim t'mim shana. Divrei Eliezer. Okay. So, tomorrow. First of all, let's become familiar with this. Baruch Hashem, I found this. I didn't have to redo it. This is from Daf Lamed Daled. This makes the whole sugya so simple. 10 seconds and everything will be clear in your mind. There's a tamid in the morning and a tamid in the evening. That we do every single day. That's why he's wearing the regular begadim, the regular big day hazav. So in the beginning, he starts the day off with the big day zav, the regular begadim, and he ends off the day with the regular begadim because he's doing tamid and tamid. Smack in the middle. This everybody agrees to, no machlokes. I mean, just making a say there, it's very, very pashut. In the middle, he does the aisle. His own ram, and the ram of Klal Yisrael. But this is very interesting. He puts on the big day lavan. You know what this big day lavan is? Everything that we learned the whole Masechta is right in this big day lavan. He does the Ketores, he does the Sarlaz Zazel, all these things that we learned, all the Shchitas, everything is big day lavan. What does he do with big day lavan number 2? The easiest thing. He takes out the spoon of the Ketores, the Macht and the Kaf from the Kodesh HaKodashim. Removes. That's it. So again, to repeat, he starts off the day with the regular begadim to do the carbon tamid. He goes, does Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim, goes to the mikvah, puts on the big day lavan, the special Yom Kippur, and he does what? Everything that has to do with Avodas Hayom. The Sarla Zazel, the Ketores, goes into the Kodesh HaKodashim, out of the Kodesh, the Hazaz on the Mizbeach, and the Mizbeach Hazav, and the walls, everything. Then he's done with everything. He puts on the big day zav, the weekdays, what he wears all year round, and he does his aisle and the aisle of the nation. Then he goes and puts on his begadim. What does he do? He basically takes out the kafel machta from the Kodesh HaKodashim, and then finally he does the Tammuz Bein Arba'im. What's missing here? What's missing here is this pasuk. There are a few things here. It says, "V'kraftem oila l'Hashem reach nichayach." These are all oilas. What does it include? Par ben bakar echad, 1 bull. Ayil echad, 1 ram. Kfas b'nei shana, shiva. 7 sheep. Bull, ram, sheep. Where does that fit into over here? Where does he do it? Where? Doesn't say. On this chart over here, it doesn't say. So we're going to see. Rebbe Kiva, over here, Over here, you do the Sheva Kvasim. Over here, together with the carbon, the Shachris, that's what we're going to discuss. That's it. That's all we're going to discuss. I was thinking to myself, I davened v'sikin for many years, and probably for 5 years out of those years, I was the chazan, because in daven v'sikin, there's always one chazan for Shachris. He's the pro. He knows how to, as the clock hits 5:42 and 26 seconds, he knows how to go Yisrael. Nobody else knows how to do it, only him. So he's the pro, right? In every v'sikin meeting, you got that guy. And I was the pro Musaf guy. So I davened many Musafim. Now, I'm thinking to myself, how many sheep do you bring? A carbon Musaf on Shabbos? It's 1, it's 2, it's 10. What is it? I literally had to think about it. How many? Uvayom Shabbos, Shnei Kvasim and Ishana. No, because one of the Kyle guys asked me, I don't understand Musaf, because we had a sugya about Musafim. He's like, what? There's 2? Yeah, there's 2. We say it we just say it. The problem we just say it. Okay, anyway, but I had to think about it as well. Fine. So over here it says, there's 1 cow, 1 aisle, 7 kvasim. Says the Mishnah. So now that we know that, it says, Vivilo Big Day Zav, and they bring him the Big Day Zav, and what does he do over here? Because Eloi here, that's in the picture over here. A ram. That's right here. That, no problem. Everybody agrees to that. And we're talking about, these are all male, because it's a oila, male, 7 kvasim that are oila. It's all oilas. What am I talking about? Over here, this pasuk, right over here. All oilas, right? 7 male kvasim. Tamimim b'nei shana. Divrei b'liaz. Now, this is a discussion the Gemara had to read this line. What? The 7 kvasim b'nei shana tamimim were carved with the Tamid Shachar. So right over here, there's 1 Tamid, he's an Oila also. In addition to that, another 7 Oilas special for Yom Kippur. And here's the problem, or the question. U para Oila, and the bull, when? So we're reading it now. That's the Gemara until the bottom of the Amud. Upar oila. Does it go? Where is that? Here. Skip around. Why not do a little chazara? Upar oila. Here, this is just the words of the Mishnah because we're holding them. We might as well see it. The 7 kvasim goes in Tammuz Shachar. Upar oila doesn't mean it goes together with the Tammuz Shachar together with the 7 kvasim, or Usar hanasa b'chutz. Let's continue the wording. Usar hanasa b'chutz. Maybe the Gemara asks, maybe the bull goes with the second part of the Mishnah. Usar hanasa b'chutz. That's later on. And the Vilna Gaon and others take out these words. Hayu kravim. So they take it out. That's why there's an aleph there. Im Tammuz Taisus talks about it. Whatever. Okay. Im Tammuz shall bein harbayim. The sar hanasa b'chutz. What does b'chutz mean? B'chutz. We're outside. It means the whole Masechta we're talking about the blood of the sar that goes inside. Inside what? Kodesh HaKodashim. He's sprinkling, he's busy. The kind of stands between the 2 poles of the Aron and he sprinkles this. That's bifnim. Bachutz means regular, like all year round on the Mizbeach HaChitzon. So there's something that Sar Anasa Bachutz, Rebbe Kiva holds that it goes later on with Tamid Shobein Arabayim in the evening, all the way at the tail end of the day. Okay, period. Next, Kiddush Yadav Raglov. Now he does another Kiddush Yadav Raglov. What does that mean to us? He's about to take off the begadim. Upashad, and he takes off the clothes. V'yarav Taval, and he goes into the mikvah. V'alav and a stapbag, and he comes out and he dries himself off. V'yaloy big day lavan v'lavash. Then they bring him the white clothing again. V'kiddush Yadav Raglov. That everybody agrees that the second time he wears the lavan, all he does is this right over here. He takes 2 things out. The spoon that held the ktaris in there, and the machta, the flat one that holds the coals. It already burnt out over there for who knows how many hours. Now he just removes it. That's part of the avodah. For that, he wears a special tvila, wears a special bgadim, goes into because he has to go into Kodesh HaKodashim. You don't go to Kodesh HaKodashim with regular clothing. It's Yom Kippur. Kodesh HaKodashim. Goes in, pulls it out. Last time he's going to see Kodesh HaKodashim this year. Kiddush Yadav Raglov, Uposhat. Listen to this. Now, he's done with this, step 4. So now he has to do Yadayim Raglayim again with the golden vessel because he's about to remove the white clothing. And he puts on the big dizav lavash. And he does again Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim because he just put on clothing. This is after the Tammuz shall be in Arbaim. The evening Torahs, they explain, doesn't mean to be mesaded, to light the candles. Once again, the final Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. Why? Because now, Hillel asked me last night, it's Mamish Mefurish Mishnah. He does Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. Hillel Kamiyansky, that is, Uposhat, and he takes off the clothing. Now they bring him his weekday suit, his regular clothing, because he's done with the avodah. And they walk him all the way to his house. And he made a special big suuda for all his friends, Bishosh, Yotza, Bishalom, and HaKodesh. Emes ma nehedar, yokoyen gadol. Emes ma nehedar, yokoyen gadol. B'tzei soy, mi v'ezgoy HaKadoshim. Ega. Shkoyach! What a geschmack shir. They sing and it's unbelievable. We have 11 minutes. Iboilu, Hechiko. So we have to understand what Rebbe Kiva meant to say. So now we already know the kasha, everything's going to flow. The 7 kvasim that are oilos, they for sure go in the beginning of the day, im Tammuz shachar or yukravim. Upara this, the green, the bull, does it go down here? Everything goes later on at the end of the day. No, the green goes together with the blue. It's early in the morning. The bull goes in the morning. It's a oila, goes together with the tamid of the oila. The red remains below at night. So I have another question. Paroilo, the Rebbe Eliezer, the Sharia, he doesn't talk about it at all. It's not in the Mishnah. Rashi says, V'sar chutz. The 2 things. I need to know, where does the par, the bull, and where does the aisle go? Here. This guy. Par, aisle. The Gemara talks about par, means aisle. Okay. Literally the Sharia, he left it out. Where does it go? V'su, another thing I need to know. We had a whole Mishnah, remember, just a few days ago. Eimuri chatos. You open up the chatos. Right? They put it on a pole, intertwined, but before they intertwine it, they slice the stomach, remove all the emurim that go on the mizbeach, put it in a bowl. Where does that fit in? It's not on this chart, so I need to know exactly when do they put that on the mizbeach. Omar Rava. You want to know exactly how it works? The only way to figure it out is there's a ton of Shmuel that explains it exactly. And if you want to know according to Rebbe Kiva, there's the Tosefta that says exactly. You're not going to figure it out from the Mishnah. Too many things missing in the Mishnah. So what is it? Very, very specific and easy. The Tana of Shmuel, it says Mefurish. Rebbe Lezer Oimer. Here, this is what Rebbe Lezer says. Yotza v'asa Eloi ve'ela ve'imuri chatos. Here. You want to know where the imuri chatos go? Right over here. Step 3, this is where he does the aisle, his aisle, the community's aisle, and he sticks in a muri chatos. Boom, that's it. There's not going to be any questions. It's a mefurisha ton of Devei Shmuel. What does it say here? Devei Shmuel. Okay. Aval para oila v'shivas kfasim v'sar nasa b'chutz im Tammuz shel ben arbayim. Everything else, the bull, the 7 sheep, according to Rebbe Eliezer, go over here at the end. Okay? Obviously, Rebbe Kiva doesn't hold that. Rebbe Kiva did Tosefta Mahi, and Tosefta we can find out where Rebbe Kiva holds. The sign Rebbe Kiva Oimer. Paroilo. Where does the bull go? You ask me. Does the bull go with the Tammuz Shel Shachar or Tammuz Shel Ben Arbaim? In the Mishnah, what did he mean to say upar? Is it a continuation or it's going on the bottom? It says Mefurish. Paroilo. B'shivas Kvasim. Im Tammuz Shel Shachar Oikravim. End the story. So we have at least one sheet over here that says that the 7 sheep go in the morning. But what we're going to see in a second, not very confusing at all, be'emes, is that it's not the 7 sheep in the morning, rather it's 6 sheep in the morning and 1 in the evening, or 1 in the morning and 6 in the evening. So we're going to have 3 sheetas really. Is it all 7 in the morning, or it's only 6 in the morning and 1 in the evening, or it's, I think it's sun, or it's 1 in the morning and 6 in the evening, or 6 in the morning and 1 in the evening. Okay, that's it. But over here it doesn't say that. Over here it says all 7 kvasim are in the morning. Or my nusach is Nachman Koele. Nachemate, come here. Show us how you laughed when I did that. It was mamish litzanis, unyontiv, terrible. I know it's really not recommended. I couldn't. Sometimes it's like nishmas by ruach shtos. It just came out. Do not chas v'shalom. V'achakach avodas hayoyim. Then after he does everything in the morning, he does the avodas hayoyim. Here, look. That's no chiddush. Tamid with the 7 kvasim. Immediately afterwards, all the avodas, hayoim, ktoiris, dam, soyer, lazazel, the whole thing. What's the most famous avodah of Yom Kippur? I would say soyer, lazazel. No, and it actually gives us the biggest kapara. So I mean, if you think about Yom Kippur, what's Yom Kippur? Ktoiris? No, I think throwing that soyer off the cliff and the red and the white. To me, I know, but he chooses it, the goyrel, the whole thing. All right, fine. Turn to Daf Yomi Beis. Lili nishmas uri b'matisyo, and for the success in Gashmis and especially ruchnius of his grandchildren. Yeah, okay, this is going to be challenging. Do all this in 6 minutes. And then we do the soyer that the blood is put on the mizbech achitzo in shenemar seir izim echod chatos milvad chatos hakipurim. I didn't show you the pasuk before because, okay, here we go. Where is it? I don't know. Okay, it's not here. Oh yeah, it is. This pasuk. Serizim echad chatos. Echad, it says, we have to remember this. Milvad chatos hakipurim. I mean, the Gemara is bringing it here. Milvad. In addition to the chatos hakipurim. What's the chatos hakipurim? The one we discussed, the Masechta. 2 goats. One gets thrown off the cliff. One is a chatos lashem. In addition to that soyer that goes lashem, there's another soyer izim echad chatos, and that the difference is the blood of the soyer of the goyrol that its partner goes off the cliff. Its blood goes into kodesh kodashim, and this one the blood does not go into kodesh kodashim. It goes on the mizbeach achitzon. And then step 3 is his own personal ram, and the ram that goes for the nation. And this is all within the 3rd tefillah. You do the emurim, the parts that go onto mizbeach from the 2nd goat, not the one that gets thrown off, but its partner, its emurim go on the mizbeach, all in this tefillah. Rashi points out, okay, obviously we didn't skip the machta. Okay, that's pashut. It goes from here and jumps to here. There is the whole putting on the clothing, taking off the clothing, and taking out the spoon, but it just flows. Fine, we get it. Says the Gemara, my time of the Rebbe Eliezer. Ovid Kidchsiv, he goes exactly like the Torah says it. Ovid Bereisha Torah's Kehanim, everything that says in Vayikra, in the parsha of Yom Kippur. V'hadar Ovid the Chumash Abikudim. Then he talks about Parshas Pinchas. Verbe Kiva, Kiltani Taima. Milvad Oilas HaBoiker Shel Oilas HaTamid. Alma Musafim Im Tamid Shel Shachar Ovid Lehu. They go together. In addition to the biker, in the morning, there's the other stuff. In addition to the chatas chus. Rebbe Lzecher, Haim Avad chatas hakipurim, my ovidlei. So according to Rabbi Akiva, the outer chatos comes before his ram and the nation's ram over here. But according to Rabbi Lzecher, comes to say a special halacha about tumah. What does it come to be mechaper? That they're connected, the two. Not where you place them and how you do them, but rather that they're the same. Just like the first one comes for kapara, for tumah, and there's a yediyah. Rashi talks about yediyah. That's the whole sugya. We're not going to go into it, but you have to know that you are tameh. Then you forget, and you go into Beis Hamikdash. If you didn't have that yediyah, that's not called a shaygeg. You don't bring there's no kapara for that. I mean, you don't need it's different. Rabbi Yehuda Omar Mishmoi. Now, until now, so this is the Pashat the Machlokes. Until now, we said, how many sheep does Rabbi Akiva hold you bring in the morning in addition to the Talmud? All 7. Now, Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Akiva, Echad Karevim Tammuz Shachar. It's only 1. V'Shisha Tammuz Ben Arbaim. All 6 in the evening. Simple Machlokes. Rabbi Lazar Rabbi Shimon Omar Mishmoi. Not true. In the name, I heard it from the name of Rabbi Akiva the opposite. Shisha Karevim Tammuz Shachar. 6 in the morning. And 1 in the evening. There's a problem with the Pesukim Ksiv. Everything should go in the morning. In addition to the oil in the morning, just throw on all the kvasim. This is talking about by the third tefillah over here. He should do his own ayil and everything else. And over here he should do the kvasim. So we split it up. Now, why do you split up? Okay, so everybody's in agreement, at least these 2 Tanaim, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon, the agreement that you split up to 7. But Mehecha Teisa, to do 6 over here, 1 over there, or 1 over here and 6 over there. You know where we had a similar machlokes? I don't want to mix anybody up, but where? Very good, Lawrence Spiegelman, by the Menorah. Remember, you do 5 and then 2. There's a Mehecha Teisa 5 and 2. Because when you start, you just keep on going and you leave the minimum of Neiros was 2, whatever. Similar concept. Why? We're concerned. Think about it. What's the main part of the kapara, says Rashi? I need the other stuff. He's going to be so busy shechting. 8 sheep. 7 plus 1. It's a lot of work. Drain him out. He's not going to have the koyach perhaps, and he's going to miss the avodas hayom. That's what we're concerned. Do 1. Finish all the avodah. When you're done with the avodah, if you have enough koyach, finish up. I'm concerned he might not remember. It'll be a big problem. Says Rashi, a beautiful lashon here. He says, Zarazu, on avodas hayom, he says, Zarazu umachlif koyach. He has rejuvenated koyach, adrenaline, exactly, adrenaline, great word. Ari, great word. Adrenaline. It's Yom Kippur, for goodness sakes. It's Yom Kippur. He's going to fall asleep. It's a once in a life. Who Zaycha to be the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur? Unbelievable. He's going to have plenty of koyachas. So do it all in the beginning. Do 6 in the beginning and leave 1 for later on. At the end of the day, the Gemara says, we call it Eloi, 1. There's 1 aisle right over here. It's aisle. Nobody ever mentioned a limb. It's not mentioned anywhere in Shas, a limb. So obviously it's 1. Kiman. Well, it's not so obvious as the Gemara. Kirebi. The sign of wherever this pasuk is, but you know here, aisle echad. And then it says over here, Sirzim echad. So the question is it 1 plus 1? Or maybe it's like Panovich shtickle. It's only 1. Yeah? Do we say it's 2 separate elim? Or the 2 psukim we're talking about the same guy? That's the whole shayla. It's 2 separate ones. My time in the Rebbe, echad. So it's 1. Echad means 1. My echad? No, echad does not mean 1. If echad meant 1, so it's 1. But that's not what echad means. Echad means where you bring this aisle, it should be the best of the best. It should always be the best from a different pasuk. You're right. Mivchan Nidarecha, we had this. Mivchan Nidarecha tells us it should be the best of the best. Echad means the best of the best. But guess what? There's two categories. Chad b'choiva, v'chad b'nedava. One is when you have to have a kapara. And if you have to have a kapara, says Rashi, I need to bring the best so that Hashem should accept your kapara. But on the other side, maybe when you bring your own animal, you should bring the best of the best, like Cain and Hevel. So Mamela, I need two psukim. In both cases, you need the best of the best. Have a wonderful day. Cleveland, guys, Cleveland. I don't know. Oh, say, tell him. Shem Alois, Memakim Kusicha Adinoi. Oh yeah. Baruch Hashem. I just needed a hug from the doc. I don't know. Why didn't you sing it? Why are you not singing? You're Nah, not everybody knows it, yeah.
Part of the day is going into the Kodesh Kodashim. We're saying for sure.
No, I'm not saying what's the best. You're right.